Hello everyone, this is Payal Vacha. Welcome to Pharma Desert. In this video, we will discuss about growth of animal cell in culture. So let's get started. These are the list of contents we will discuss in this video. First one is introduction, major developments in cell culture technology. Why is cell culture used for? Cell culture media and reagents, animal cell culture, process of cell culture, types of animal cell culture, confluent culture and the necessity of subculture, methods, growth requirements, process to obtain primary cell culture, and last one is application of animal cell culture. We will discuss one by one. First of all, introduction. An important aspect of any biotechnological process, that is the culture of animal cells in artificial media. That means any biotechnological process is the culture of animal cell in artificial media. So cultured animal cells that are used in recombinant DNA technology, genetic manipulation, and in a variety of industrial process with economic potential. So in first sentence, biotechnology process, that is the one type of technology in which animal cell that is present in artificial media, and these cultured animal cells that are most widely used for rDNA technology, genetic manipulation, as well as that are useful for industrial process. And in the production of vaccines, monoclonal antibodies, pharmaceutical drugs, and cancer research, etc. That is useful. Major developments in cell culture technology. Which type of major developments are occur in cell culture technology? First development was the use of antibiotics, which inhibits the growth of contaminants. Second one is the use of trypsin to remove the adherent cells to subculture further from the culture vessel. So first sentence is, or first development, that was the use of antibiotic. An antibiotic, by using antibiotic that inhibit growth of any contaminants. Second one is use of trypsin. So what was the use of trypsin? Trypsin, which remove the adherent cell to subculture further from the culture vessel. And third development is use of chemically defined culture medium. Why is cell culture is used for? First one is areas where cell culture technology is currently playing a major role. So two type of area where the cell culture technology play the most important roles. First one is model system. Next one is toxicity testing. In model system, for studying basic cell biology, interactions between disease which causing agents and cells, and effects of drug on cells, process and triggering of aging in nutritional studies. So in model system, for studying the basic cell biology, interaction between disease which causing the agent and the cell, as well as effect of drug on the cell, process and triggering of aging in nutritional studies. While second one, in toxicity testing, study directly affects new drug substances. Next one is cancer research. In cancer research, study the function of various chemicals, virus and radiation to convert the normal cultured cell to cancerous cell. So in cancer research, study the function of various chemicals, viruses as well as some type of radiations which convert normal cell cultures into the cancerous cells. Next one is cell culture media and reagent. So cell culture medium is the combination of ingredients which support the cell growth by providing all the essential nutrients, growth factors and hormones for the cell growth as well as regulating the pH and osmolarity of culture. So what is the role of culture media and reagents? So culture medium, that is made up of combination of ingredients. They support the cell growth by providing all the essential nutrients, growth factors and hormones. They provide the cell growth, and as well as they also regulate pH and osmolarity of culture. The three basic classes of media are present. First one is differ in the requirement for supplementation with serum. So the choice of culture media, that is dependent on requirements of cells being cultured. Three types of culture media are available: basal media, reduced serum media and serum free media. First one is basal or basic media. Basal medium, that is defined medium that contains essential and non-essential amino acid, vitamins, inorganic salts, organic compounds and trace elements, but does not contain growth supplements necessary for cell growth. So first one, in basic medium, that is the medium that contain essential and non-essential amino acid, vitamin, inorganic salt, organic compound, trace element. All are the reagents that are present in basal medium, but they doesn't contain growth supplement that are necessary for cell growth. And balanced salt solution, that are also called as BSS. So balanced salt solution, example is phosphate buffer saline, that is a PBS. So Dulbecquo's modified Eagles medium and Roswell Park Memorial Institute medium 1640 with or without glutamine. That is the example of basic media. Next one is reduced serum media. In reduced serum media, that are basal media formulations enriched with nutrients and animal derivatives which reduce amount of serum that is needed. So reduced serum media, that are the basic medium formulation that is enriched with nutrients as well as that is enriched with animal derived factor and that directly reduce amount of serum that is required. Next one is serum free media. Serum free media, that is a circumvents issues with using animal sera by replacing the serum with appropriate nutritional and hormonal formulations. And serum free media formulations exist for many primary cultures and cell lines including Chinese hamster ovary, hybridoma cell lines, Vero, MDCK, MDBK cell lines, etc. So serum free media, that is the one type of issue by using animal sera and that replace the serum with appropriate nutritional and hormonal formulation. So in media, completely absence of serum and in replacement of serum, nutrients and hormones are present. In serum free media formulation that exist for many primary culture and various cell lines are available or present in media. One of the major advantage of using serum free media, that is the ability to make the medium selective for specific cell types by choosing the appropriate combination of growth factor. That is the advantages of serum free media. What was the advantages? That have a ability to make the medium selective for specific cell types by choose appropriate combination of growth factor. Next one is animal cell culture. In animal cell culture refers to the process by which cells are grown in a controlled artificial environment and cells can be maintained in vitro outside of their original body by this process. So in animal cell culture that is referred to as, that is a one type of process. By process, cells are grow in control artificial media that are called as animal cell culture, and these cells can be maintained in vitro outside of their original body by this process. So in a cell culture technique, cells are removed from animal or any plant and that is grow subsequently in its favorable or comfortable environment. So for animal cell culture, the cells are taken from organ of experimental animals. Cells may be removed directly or by mechanical or enzymatic actions. So cells are removed directly or that is removed by mechanical or enzymatic actions. Examples: fibroblast, lymphocyte, cells from cardiac and skeletal tissue, cells from liver, breast, skin and kidney, and different types of tumor cells. All are removed directly or mechanically or by enzymatic action and perform in vitro testing. Next one is process of cell culture. First one is harvest the cell. After harvesting the cell, isolate the cells with the use of appropriate enzymes. And after isolating the cells, apply the isolated cells onto an appropriate growth media in culture dish. So first step is harvesting the cell. After harvesting, isolate the cell with appropriate use of enzyme. After isolating the cell, apply the isolated cell onto an appropriate growth media in a culture dish. So culture dish already contain growth media, and in growth media isolated cells are placed. So culture cells, by placing the culture dish in a cell incubator, so culture cell containing culture dish that is placed into the incubator and subculture the cells to obtain a pure culture or to bypass some problems. So subculturing the cells for obtaining pure culture, and verify the culture cells are of the cell type of interest. And last step of process of cell culture is cells are ready to be manipulated or modified for experimental procedure. So that is the flow chart of process to culture the cells. Next one is types of animal cell culture. First one is primary cell culture and next one is cell lines. Cell lines can undergo either finite or infinite cell divisions. First one is primary cell culture. That is, depending upon their origin, primary cells grow either as an adherent monolayer or in a suspension. So primary cell culture, so depending on their origin, primary cells that grow either as an adherent monolayer or that grow in a suspension. So adherent cell, suspension cells as well as confluent culture and necessity of subculture are required for preparing primary cell culture. Next one is secondary cell culture and cell lines. On the basis of lifespan of culture, cell lines are categorized into two types. So on the basis of life period of culture media, cell lines divided into two types: finite cell lines and continuous cell lines. First one, primary cell culture. This is the cell culture obtained straight from the cells of a host tissue, and the cells dissociated from parental tissue are grown on a suitable container, and the culture thus obtained that is called as primary cell culture. So first one, primary cell culture, that is the cell that are dissociated from parent tissue which are grown on a suitable container, and this culture that is obtained that are called as primary cell culture. So primary cell culture that is directly dissociated from parent tissue that will grow on a suitable container. Such culture comprises mostly heterogeneous cells, and most of the cells divided only for a limited time. So this culture that comprises mostly heterogeneous cells as well as most of the cells They divide only for a limited times. So these cells are much similar to their parents. First one is adherent cell. That is required for primary cell culture. These cells are encouraged, dependent and propagate as a monolayer. And these cells needs to be attached to a solid or semi-solid substrate for a proliferation. So these cells that are required to be attached for solid semi-solid substrate for proliferation, and this adhere to the culture vessel with the use of extracellular matrix, and which is generally derived from tissue of organs that are immobile and embedded in a network of connective tissue. So this adhere to the culture vessel. This adherent cell sticks to the culture vessel with the use of extracellular matrix, and which is generally derived from tissue of organs that are immobile and that are embedded in a network of connective tissue. Example is fibroblast and epithelial cells. Next one is suspension cells do not attach to the surface of culture vessels, but these cells are also called as encouraged independent or non-adherent cells, which can be grow floating in the culture media. So suspension cell, they do not attach to the surface of culture vessel, but these cells are also called as encouraged independent or non-adherent cell, and which can be grow floating in a culture media. So hematopoietic stem cells and tumor cells both can be grow in a suspension, while these cells can grow much faster, which do not require the frequent replacement of media and that can be easily maintained. So first one is suspension cell, they do not attach to the surface of culture vessel, but these cells are called as encouraged independent or non-adherent cell because they didn't attach to the surface of culture vessel, and that can be grow in floating manner. So hematopoietic stem cells and tumor cells that can be grow in a suspension form, and these cells grow much faster and they do not require frequent replacement of media and that can be easily maintained. So these are of homogeneous types and enzyme treatment that is not required for the dissociation of cells. Similarly, these cultures have short lag period. So these are the homogeneous type and the enzyme treatment that is not required for dissociation of cell, but these culture have short lag time period. Next one is confluent culture and the necessity of subculture. After the cells that are isolated from the tissue and proliferated under the appropriate condition, they occupy all of the available substrate. It is a rich confluence. So for a few days, it can become too crowded for their container, and this can be detrimental to their growth, generally leading to cell death if left for long time. So confluent culture and necessity of subculture. First one, after the cell that are isolated from tissue and proliferated under the appropriate condition, they occupy all of the available substrate. So for a few days, it can become too crowded for their containers, and this can be detrimental to their growth and generally which leading to cell death if left for long time period. So the cells thus have to be subtract. Example is portion of cell that is transferred to a new vessel with fresh growth media and which provide more space and nutrients for continual growth of both portion of cell. Hence the subculture keeps cells in a healthy and in growing states. A passage number. In it is refers specifically to how many times a cell line has been subcultured. So how many times cell line that is subculture that are called as passage number. In contrast with the population doubling level, in that the specific number of cells that involved that is not relevant, but it simplifies, gives a general indications of how old the cells may be for various assays. Secondary cell culture and cell line. So when a primary culture, it is a subcultured. So that is known as secondary culture or cell lines or subclones. So the process which involves removing the growth media and dissociating the adherent cell, usually enzymatically, that are called as cell culture and secondary cell lines. So subculturing of primary cells to different divisions leads to the generation of cell lines. During the passage, cell lines with the highest growth capacity predominate, resulting in a degree of genotypic and phenotypic uniformity in the population. So in secondary cell culture and cell lines, when primary culture, it is subculture, that is known as secondary culture or cell line or subclone. So the process which involves removing the growth media and dissociating the adherent cell. So subculturing of primary cell to different division, that leads to the generation of cell lines. So during the passage, cells with highest growth capacity predominate and resulting in a degree of genotypic and phenotypic uniformity in population. So however, if they are subcultured serially, they become different from original cells. Finite cell lines. In finite cell lines, which go through a limited number of cell divisions, having a limited lifespan, that are known as finite cell lines. So what is finite cell lines? That have a limited number of cell division, that have a limited lifespan. The cell passage several times and then lose their ability to proliferate. So which is a genetically determined event that is known as a senescence. So when the cell passage several times and then which lose their ability for proliferation, so which is genetically determined, that is known as a senescence. So cell lines derived from primary culture of normal cells and that are finite cell lines. Next one is continuous cell lines. When a finite cell lines undergoes a transformation and which acquires the ability to divide indefinitely, it becomes a continuous cell line. So what is a continuous cell line? When a finite cell line which undergoes the transformation and acquires the ability for provide or for divide indefinitely, that are called as continuous cell lines. While such transformation or mutation which can occur spontaneously or can be chemically or virally induced or from the establishment of cell cultures from malignant tissue. So such transformation or mutation that can occur spontaneously or which can be chemically or virally induced or from the establishment of cell cultures from malignant tissue. So these cells are less adherent, it is fast growing and less fastidious in their nutritional requirements, and they are able to grow up to higher cell density as well as that are different in phenotypes from original tissue. So such mutation that can occur spontaneously or which can be chemically or virally induced or from the establishment of cell cultures from malignant tissue. And these cells are less adherent, it is fast growing, less fastidious in their nutritional requirement, and that are able to grow up to a higher cell density as well as that are different in phenotypes from original tissue. Such cells grow more in the suspension and they also have a tendency to grow on the top of each other in multi-layers on a culture vessel surface. Animal cell culture. So common cell lines are human cell lines, MCF7, HL60 and HELN. In animal cell culture, this is a schematic diagram of animal cell culture. First one is organ. From the organ, cell isolation by enzymatic and mechanical action. After that, culture formation, isolation, culture, and confluent culture. After confluent culture, subculturing. Subculturing, that is the secondary culture or primary cell lines. After primary cell lines, secondary cell lines are formed. Further subculturing and cell division continue up to a finite division. So that is the type of cell line. Second figure is organ which have the tumor. So cells that are isolated from or tumor and it is culture. Cell are isolated from organ and that is culture, and that is transformed cells, and that is subculture, and finally cell division continue up to the indefinite divisions. So that are cell lines. So that is the schematic diagram of animal cell culture. Next one is methods. Four methods are available: growth requirements, process to obtain a primary cell culture, aseptic techniques, and cryopreservation. First one is growth requirement. So culture media generally include amino acid, vitamin, salt, glucose, bicarbonate buffer system, growth factors, hormones, O2, CO2. So for growth, which type of requirements are needed? So for growth, various agents or various reagents are required, like amino acid, vitamins, salt which maintain the osmotic pressure, glucose is required, bicarbonate buffer system is required which maintain a pH between 7.2 and 7.4, growth factors and hormones are required, and O2 and CO2 are required. So to obtain the best growth, addition of small amount of blood serum that is usually necessary, and several antibiotics like penicillin and streptomycin are added to prevent a bacterial contamination. So to obtain best or optimum growth, addition of small amount of blood serum that is required, and several antibiotics like penicillin and streptomycin that are added for preventing bacterial contamination. So temperature that varies on the type of host cell. So depend on host cell, temperature are different. Most mammalian cells that are maintained at 37 degrees centigrade for optimal growth, while cells that are derived from cold-blooded animals which tolerate a wider temperature range is about 15 degrees centigrade to 26 degree centigrade temperature. So mammalian cells that are maintained at 37 degrees centigrade for optimal growth, while cold-blooded animal which tolerate ranges between 15 degrees centigrade to 26 degrees centigrade. So actively growing cells of log phage should be used which divide rapidly during culture. Process to obtain a primary cell culture. So primary cell cultures that are prepared from fresh tissue and pieces of tissue from the organ that are removed aseptically and which are usually minced with a sharp sterile razor and dissociated by proteolytic enzymes that break apart the intercellular cement. That means which type of process which obtain the primary cell culture? First one is primary cell cultures that are prepared from fresh tissue and piece of tissue from organ which is removed carefully, aseptically, and that are usually minced with sharp sterile razor and which is dissociated by proteolytic enzyme that break apart the intercellular cement. And the obtained cell suspension that is then washed with physiological buffer. So this cell suspension that is properly washed with physiological buffer to remove proteolytic enzyme if it is present. And the cell suspension that is spread out on bottom of flat surface such as a bottle or a petri dish, and this thin layer of cells adhering to the glass or plastic dish that is overlaid with a suitable culture medium and that is incubated at a suitable temperature. So cell suspension that is spread out on bottom of flat surface like bottle or petri dish, and this thin layer of cells which adhering to the glass or plastic dish that is overlaid with a suitable culture media and that is incubated at a suitable temperature. Aseptic techniques. We already discussed what is aseptic techniques. What was the importance of aseptic techniques? Bacterial infections like mycoplasma and fungal infections commonly occur in cell culture, creating a problem to identify and eliminate. So bacterial infection like mycoplasmic infection or any fungal infection that are commonly occur in the cell culture, which create a problem for identification and elimination. Thus, all the cell culture work is done in sterile environment with proper aseptic technique. So, for removing this type of problem, cell culture work that is done in a sterile environment. So, work should be done in laminar flow with constant unidirectional flow of HEPA filtered air over the work area. So, work it should be done in the laminar airflow with the constant unidirectional flow of HEPA filter. All the materials, solution and the whole atmosphere, it should be contamination free and dust free. What is cryopreservation? In cryopreservation, if a surplus of cells that is available from subculturing, they should be treated with an appropriate protective agent, that is a DMSO or glycerol, that is stored at a temperature below minus 130 degrees centigrade until they are needed. So what is cryopreservation? When surplus of cells that are available from subculturing, and it should be treated with appropriate protective agent like DMSO or glycerol, which are stored at a temperature below minus 130 degrees centigrade until they are needed. So this stocks and prevents the original cell from being lost due to unexpected equipment failure or biological contaminations. So they stores the cell stock and which prevent the original cells from being lost due to unexpected equipment failure or biological contaminations. So it also prevents finite cells from reaching senescence and minimize the risk of changes in long-term cultures. So when throwing the cells, the frozen tube of cells that is warmed quickly in warm water, that is rinsed with medium in serum and then added into the culture container once suspended in a appropriate media. So when throwing the cells, frozen tube of cell that is warmed properly and warmed quickly in a boiled water, that is rinsed with the medium as well as serum, and after rinse with medium and serum, that is added into the culture containers once it is suspended in an appropriate media. Application of animal cell culture. Various applications are available. First one is model system. In model system, cell cultures provide a good model system for studying basic cell biology and biochemistry, as well as the interaction between disease causing agents and the cells, and the effect of drug on the cells, as well as the process and trigger for aging, and last one is nutritional studies. Next one is toxicity testing. In toxicity testing, cultured cells are widely used alone or in a combination with animal test to study the effect of new drugs, cosmetics and chemicals on survival and growth in a wide variety of cell types. Especially important are liver and kidney derived cell culture. Next one is cancer research. In cancer research, since both the normal cells and cancer cells, which can be grown in the culture, the basic difference between them, which can be closely studied. So in addition, it is possible by the use of chemicals, viruses and radiation to convert normal cultured cell to cancer causing cells. So cultured cancer cells also serve as a test system to determine the suitable drugs and method for selectivity destroying types of cancer. Next one is virology. So one of the earliest and major use of cell culture is the replication of viruses in cell culture for use in vaccine production. Cell culture that are also widely used in the clinical detection and isolation of viruses as well as basic research into how they grow and infect the animals. Next one is cell-based manufacturing. In cell-based manufacturing, cultured cells can be used to produce many important products. In three areas are generating the most interest. First one is large-scale production of viruses for use in vaccine production. Example, vaccine for polio, rabies, chickenpox, etc. Second one is large-scale production of cells that have been genetically engineered to produce proteins that have medicinal or commercial value. Example is monoclonal antibodies, insulin and hormones. Last one is third is use of cells as a replacement tissue and organs. Examples is artificial skin for use in treating burns and ulcers. It is the first commercially available product, and artificial organs like pancreas, liver and kidney. Next one is genetic counseling. In genetic counseling, amniocentesis a diagnostic technique that enable remove and culture of fetal cells from pregnant women and has given an important tools for the early diagnosis of fetal disorder. So these cells can then be examined for abnormalities in their chromosomes and gene using karyotyping, chromosome painting and other molecular techniques. Next one is genetic engineering. The ability to transfect or reprogram culture cell with a new genetic material like DNA and genes has provided a major tool to study the cellular effect of the expression of these genes. So these techniques can also be used to produce this new protein in large quantity in culture cell for further study, and inspect the cells are widely used as a miniature cells factories to express the substantial quantities of proteins and that they manufacture after being infected with genetically engineered baculoviruses. Next one is gene therapy. In gene therapy, the ability to genetically engineer cell has also led to their use for gene therapy. And cells can be removed from a patient lacking a functional gene, and the missing or damaged gene can then be replaced. So the cells can be grow for a while in culture and then replaced into the patient. So an alternative approach is to place the missing gene into a viral vector and then infect the patient with the viruses in the hope and that the missing gene will then be expressed in the patient's cell. Last application of animal cell culture is drug screening and development. So cell-based assay have become increasingly important for the pharmaceutical industry, not just for cytotoxicity testing, but that are also used for high throughput screening of compounds that may have potential use as drugs. So originally, these cell culture tests were done in 96 well plates, but increasing the use that is now being made of 384 and 1536 well plates. So all are the regarding application of animal cells. If any query or doubts related to topic, please write your questions in comment box. Thank you. Today we completed our 5th SEM microbiology syllabus, and I hope you enjoyed this lecture series. So we will meet in next semester with new subjects, with new topics. Thank you. Thank you so much everyone.